Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings. This is Scorpio's reading. It's a general reading, so we take what works, we leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. If I don't catch your wavelength here, check your other major placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or major placements. All right, got a couple here. Oh yeah, I like that one. All right, some sort of like spiritual connection, soulmatey, something, some sort of spiritual connection. It's made possible by your own growth and your own, I'm looking at, did I not tell you this? I'm looking at the Oracle cards, Oracle Mystical Moments. So some sort of personal growth has allowed you to connect with something. There's been some sort of divine guidance here, divine timing. And there's also a sense of a psychic connection with something that's going to be with you for a long time. You are or can expect to encounter something that's going to be part of your life for a while. So here we have beautiful, beautiful butterfly garden. It's actually just butterfly garden. I added the beautiful. And this is a part of you that's grown, that's changed. You know, what's interesting about this whole past year is when I'm seeing people in person, I get the sense that we've all been sort of marinating in our own energy for a while. And boy, is it intense. It smells like, you know, like, it can either smell really good or bad. It's like, yeah, it's pretty rich brew, people's energy right now. So anyway, you've grown and you've changed, and hopefully you're smelling like a beautiful flower here. But this is something, this might be some private growth or some private change. You've been working on yourself, you've been growing, you've developing, and you know what? You love where you've come. You love what you've become. You love this change, this transformation. You're feeling very, this work that you've done on yourself feels very good, and you're feeling just very appreciative of whatever's brought you here to this space. There's a gratitude, or there ought to be, or hopefully there is, like a gratitude for yourself and all the growth that you've allowed for yourself, right? When we take life's sort of, you know, compost bin of crap and garbage, not all of life, but you know, there's that stuff there. When we take that and we compost that and then grow some beautiful flowers of it, that's work that we do as, you know, gardeners of ourselves, right? So, and so you've been tending to your own changes. This has, and taking, you know, some of that crap that life's given you and handed you and making beautiful flowers out of it and having it be a launching pad for change and growth. So then this somehow this is the journey card. This is a companion card later on in the deck. This is a 19, and I think the companion card is like 44. And this is the beginning of a long journey. This might be a gift someone gives you or a moment. I always imagine there's like a birthday party here. She's basically wearing the dress that my Annie doll had when I was little, her party dress. So there's some sort of sense of celebration or meeting something that's yours, right? She's putting a ribbon on this deer, and they're going to be together. They're going to grow together. Maybe not step by step, every step of the way, but there is something here. So this can be a companion, a person, a friend, a lover, and also like a life purpose or something that you're wanting to connect with, that you do connect with. So the connection is being established, and it has a longevity is possible for it. This thing's got legs. It could go a long way. So, but there's a connection and a sense of co-belonging, a sense of having met your match or having met something that will be part of your life for a long time. I think this has been made possible by some of the growth that you've done and the changing that you've done within self-directed growth. Of course, self-directed growth, we don't need that to be because we hate ourselves. It's because we love ourselves, and we're choosing this. We're not making war on ourselves and saying we should be different, we should have grown, we should grow more. We're choosing it out of love, and a love for life, and a love for growth, and a love for this beautiful growth and inner growth, not because we feel like we're not enough, or we're terrible people as is, and we need to, I mean, obviously I don't want to interfere with anyone having that revelation that needs to be having that revelation, but you know, we grow and do this self-improvement out of a love for life, a love for learning, and a love for growth, not as a way to make war on ourselves and tell ourselves that we should be different. So something about the way you've changed has sort of opened a door or brought you into connection with something that has potential to be with you for a very long time. We have flower spirit. This is where I'm seeing the divine timing or some sort of divine presence here, really helping this process along, helping with the this is like a midwifing here of a new birth. So that you may have had some assistance here, or there's just some sort of divine timing going on where somebody's maybe someone introduced you to this thing. There's some sort of help here, either spiritual help or actual help, but there is something about divine assistance and the timing of it all and the pacing of it all being part of being very spiritual in its process, being very spiritually guided. And then we have bloom here. This is sort of intuitive hits coming in, a sense of connection to the greater universe, to the greater energies out there, which is what I see in flower spirit as well. This flower spirit, this might really be spiritual growth that you've gone through. I do think all growth is spiritual growth, but there's something very sort of about your own personal spiritual growth, that somebody or some teaching may have come in and really at just the right time hit you just the right way and really helped you grow and change and opened yourself up to some opportunities. And this is the sort of psychic hits, the connection. It's called listen. It's basically listening to, being able to listen to the universe. You listen to the outside forces, listen to the benevolent forces that surround us and guide us, and those intuitive hits coming in and being connected to that and being receptive to information, to messages, to possibilities, being in a very receptive mode here, and able to listen. And I feel like relax in your listening. Like there's a sense of being able to relax into this understanding and this sudden comprehension. There could be some kind of comprehension or some kind of epiphanies coming in here, or just intuitive understandings, and you're able to listen to them and hear them out. I do see a lot of calm. There might be some external presence that's helping to calm you, but there is a sense of a lot of peace here and connection. There's a strong sense of connection, of spiritual connection in these cards. So I have a new deck here. I have a new tarot deck. We're going to move on into our traditional tarot spread, and I have a new tarot deck. I'm very surprised by my connections to it. It is it's very different, very abstract. Who's it by? Mary Elizabeth Evans. So it surprised me, but I'm having fun. I've got the book nearby in case I get lost here, but we're just probably going to roll with whatever we get here. This is your past, your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Okay, so where are we going with these puppies? In your recent past, you have King of Wands. There's somebody here that sort of has some sort of, I want to say, authority or ownership. King of Wands could be an actual person that you've been dealing with, that you've dealt with in the past. They have some sort of authority. They lead. Their leadership is very inspired and very balanced. There's growth. This is leadership, intuitive leadership from a sense of growth. Here's the card, King of Wands. See, very abstract. I'm seeing like all the elements coming together. Well, I'm seeing the sunlight and the water, but the King of Wands is bringing, in a way, the growth and the earth. And so the king is going to be leadership that takes into account a lot of the whole kingdom and what's good for everybody. This is someone who's really mastered their intuition and really understands their intuition and really works with it and lives their life and grows from a strong sense of intuition. I want to say they have this ability to give and receive in equal measure. There's a sense of not needing to grasp or control things, because the control, it's not really within. They're not really like controlling themselves, because that's actually based in insecurity and a fear that you can't control yourself. So you buckle down and really try to control yourself. So that kind of controlling of yourself has a shadow side to it that's pretty intense and is actually driving the ship here. So this is a King of Wands. This is a person. It could be you. I feel like it might be somebody else. It could be you, that has made a lot of peace and a lot of integration of different parts of themselves, and is able to function with the knowledge that self-control when needed is there, but doesn't need to be accessed all the time. And there's a sense of growth and leadership of growth. This is a spiritual leader sometimes, an ability to help people grow, and in a way we're seeing this midwifing here, and bring that growth out of people. This leadership is very, it's like it is, I'm seeing a spiritual leadership, a leadership in helping people grow, someone who's very talented and good at helping others grow from their own process that they've experienced. So they bring a special element to any situation that they're in, a sort of spiritual, deeply connected, again, I'm seeing connection here, element to the situation. Your current situation is the Lovers. So this is our Lovers card. We've got connection here. Again, this is like the one thing I love about this is about deep connection, right? And this is, and there's another card that talks about the longevity of that connection, and that it has at that point been part of your life for a long time. So it is, to me, the Lovers, a soulmate, or not necessarily a soulmate, but a heart of my heart connection, which we can have with a variety of things. I have that with tarot, obviously, this soul connection with that. So the Lovers here, we're talking about, we have this lighthouse here, and this is the light of love that can guide us. And the lighthouse, of course, shows up in treacherous territory, treacherous areas, as a beacon, as a light to us. So following that light and using it as a guide is almost like it's saying that there is some sort of difficult passage here, right? And we need this love as a guide, because this love guides us forward. So it takes us out of fear, out of the fog, out of the darkness, of fear, of not being able to see what's around us, of not knowing what's around us, and it guides us. So this is this passion and this heart connection that is here to act as a guide, is here to bring you forward in your life. And so the Lovers is always a question of, what did we decide? How do we move? How do we move through the world? Do we let love guide us? Do we let the light of love guide us, or do we work in darkness and fear, and fear of not being accepted, fear of other people disapproving of us? So there's some sort of like passionate heart of my heart connection, and the choice that the Lovers offers is, this is never an easy choice. This is never an easy option. It's not easy to go towards it, right? Because we have the lighthouse here, so there's something that's not easy here. And are we gonna be fueled in our journey by love and moving towards that which brings us alive and that which we love, or are we going to be taking the path of initially, it's what other people want you to do, the more conventional path, the thing that's explainable and logical, and ends up being actually quite more difficult, because there's no flow to it, and there's no entry point into it where you are going downstream down the river. It's all fighting against your own nature. So at first there's some appeal to that decision. But in the long haul, you separate yourself from your own true nature and your own flow. So that's the Lovers card. You've connected with something. It resonates with you. Are you going to continue going forward with that thing? or, I mean, and there are certainly temporary reasons why we don't do that, but this is an overall, you know, major arcana card. How are you going to live your life? What's at issue here? Your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape. We have 3 of Cups. Friendship. You're hoping for some supportive friendship, mutually supportive friendship, where we share our hopes and fears, what inspires us, what we create, our, you know, feelings and spiritual beliefs, and we share that with the friends. This is a party, hanging out with other people. So either you're an introvert and this is your greatest fear, is hanging out with other people and deeply connecting, or you really would like to deeply connect with others in some way and have some sort of communion with them. What's at issue here is Temperance in reverse. We have some impatience, right? We have this like divine timing card right here, or what I'm seeing today as divine timing. But what's at issue is that there's a timing issue. Temperance deals with patience, with, you know, seeing something coming but not quite knowing when or how it's going to come, knowing that the situation is changing and needing to have some patience with that. We are restlessly, you know, waiting for the dawn. We know that something's being adapted to, something's being changed. There is this growth here that's happening, but it's slow growth and it's taking time. Temperance in reverse could be, you know, we're not really adjusting to something's, or we're very impatient. With the rest of this reading, I'm seeing a sense of impatience or a sense of not wanting to allow something to play out, or just you might want to force the hand here because there's not, the process itself is taking a while and it's not conducive to what's desired and what's wanted. So there's a sense of being awake before your alarm goes off, right? Like, okay, I know this is happening, I know this is coming, but I'm not, you know, I'm not able to sleep straight through to this moment. And now I'm looking at it and I'm wondering when it's going to come, and I'm thinking about it and when my alarm goes off and that kind of thing. So I see a sense of like, impatience, or, you're more ready than the situation is. And then what's in your environment is we have the Hermit. So this could be somebody else has sequestered themselves away this is an introverted vibe. This is a getting in touch with themselves. So there could be someone in your environment that's done this, or your environment is telling you you have to do that. There's some sort of sense of isolation coming in here. This isolation is so useful because it helps us understand our own true nature. It helps us change and transform in ways that are true to our own self and our own journey. So the Hermit card is about, with the Hermit card, there's no grand vista. It's what's the next step, and it's a need to sort of take a break from all your labels, all your groups, all of that, and figure out what your next step is very authentically. It pairs well with this Lovers card because we have the Lovers card, in a way, requires this, like this Hermit's like living in this little lighthouse here. Like the Lovers card, it has this joint, this meeting of the minds and this meeting of the soul and heart, but it also has this choice that only you can make, that nobody can make for you. So that's the choice here. Only you can make it. No one can make it for you. How you're going to live, what this light means to you, how it can possibly guide you, right? So I see this Hermit as being in the tower here. We got mirrors, right? So to make that light brighter, but it is just a spotlight, and it is just that one thing at a time, and it rotates around. So it's just a spotlight that's illuminating a part of your life right now. So this Hermit card here is talking about that solitary journey, the isolated journey. So someone has either receded and taken some time alone to really figure out what their next most authentic step is, or life is asking you to take some time out and figure out what your next most authentic step is, because this Lover's card, it talks about connection, but both people have to make this free and clear, and also understanding the consequences of this way of living and what it entails. So each person, if this is a soulmate connection or a kindred spirit connection, somehow each person has to make their own individual decisions in isolation, and you can't force someone else to join that connection with you. So someone here is either receded to rethink this or make, and this is what you want. If the person has receded and they're doing this hermit work, this is very important. You want this. You want any other person in a situation with you to be making authentic decisions that are true to themselves, right? Without pressure, without labels, without all of that. So, or this could be you taking some necessary time to really connect deeply with your own intuition. What you're doing, the energy you need to interact with here is this Justice card. So justice is about how we go about doing what we're doing, the ethics of it, making decisions that are fair, trying to balance and weigh things, and trying to understand, it's not just about where we're going, it's also about how we get there, and trying to weigh that and balance that out and figure out how we're going to get where we want to go, because that's equally as important. There is a sense of, what you do in private is not necessarily private, right? There's a sense of, we all get our private thoughts, and we all have this sense of privacy, and this hermit certainly is having some private moments here. But what you're doing in private, as I was talking about before, is we've all been marinating in our own energy, and now it's pretty pungent. I'm finding when I'm hanging out with people that I haven't seen in a while, their energy is pungent because they've just been marinating with themselves. So there is a sense of, maybe you've been in private, but what you've been thinking and doing and saying all shifts your energy and intensifies your energy or dissipates your energy, whatever. So there is a sense of, even though it's private, it comes out and it can't be helped. And there's a sense of that, of this private, we do see this butterfly garden, this private personal growth, like this Hermit card, but there's a Justice, and the Justice card, it could be interacting with the justice system, interacting with ethics, understanding, how these private decisions and the private thing, even though we accomplish what we want to accomplish, how did we accomplish it? And what energy did we bring to these situations? And there could be a sense of just needing to be fair to someone else. Maybe this hermit who's just trying to figure out their own path, and they are equally as entitled to their own path as you are. So bringing a sense of fairness to a situation. And then where we're going here is a Six of Swords energy. Let me spend a minute with this card. Okay, Six of Swords. This is our typically our moving on card. We've got this flow happening. Here it is. I think I already showed it to you. We've got this flow happening, and it's this moving on vibe of, whatever has been back there, whatever I clung to, whatever I needed, whatever I, prayed for or manipulated for or was desperate for, whatever I clung to back there, I let go. So there's a sense of just moving on. I don't know what comes next. I don't know where I'm going from here, but I know that what I've clung to and what I've held on to has outlived its usefulness for me, and I need to let something go. Expectations, difficult relationships, anything where it's become too much. And the devil you don't know becomes more appealing than the repeated situation that you've been in, right? So there's always a sense of water, of flow, of being able to move on. There's usually some help and assistance in this moving on, but there has been something that's been clung to, and it's this energy of letting it go, releasing that, releasing these ideas, releasing these. releasing expectations, releasing rigidity and control of something, and a need to control something and a need to cling to something. So something's been clung to. I mean, we see this whole altar where we've wanted this, we wanted that. And it feels to me, the way this card feels to me is that there's been something there have been things that have been desired and have not happened here. There's been either peace or abundance or something, and we're starting to see it's not going to happen here. This isn't the place for it. This isn't how it goes down here. So I'm almost seeing the Lover's card, this choice to let go of something that's had maybe some rigid expectations, some clinginess, some need for it to be a certain way, and just understanding it's not going to be that way, and releasing those expectations. We have both a sunset and a dawn depicted here. I can't tell which, because I want to say it's a sunset, because the Six of Swords is about leaving it behind, letting go of the energy, letting go of expectations, letting go of where you've been, and allowing the unknown, possibly the night, and we could go into the night. We don't know. All we know is that this isn't what we want. This isn't the day. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's our reading today. I hope that was helpful for you, Scorpio, and I hope that these cards were, I mean, I'm fascinated by this deck, so I hope you were too. So I'll see you when I see you.